So this is our focus at InterNACHI, helping you succeed in your business. And we provide training, certification, licensing stuff, business development, marketing support, discounts on a lot of things, even your next truck if you wanted to get a Ford. Ford gave us a discount. And I'll show you where those things are as well. If you wanted to get started in licensing, you go to anynachi.org page and you click Get Started. It's at the top. And you go to licensing and certification, and it brings you to a page of states and Canadian provinces and countries all over the world. So let's click Florida. Let's go to the main Florida state page. This is the state-specific information that you'll probably want to know about. We have a condo pilot program. So we've been awarded another program in Florida by the DBPR. We are hiring wind mitigation inspectors because we won the contract for the MySafe Florida Home program as well. And we have the biggest inspector event. It was scheduled for 2024, but it got bumped by the hurricane and it hit Orlando. So we're going to be in Orlando next month in February 2025. And pre-licensing. So if you're thinking about pre-licensing, we have a couple options for you. One of them is the House of Horrors class to get hands-on training. Another one is online options. So you can take a lot of the required education hours online. And everything is free and online to InterNACHI members. And if you wanted to renew your license, we have that as well. Oh, here's the exam. If you need to take the exam, right, the exam's coming up, you take the 120 hours training, and then you take the state exam. InterNACHI state exam is available for you as well. And you have to be covered with insurance. So you need insurance in the state of Florida to be a home inspector. And you can get a free, quick quote from InterNACHI's insurance company right there at that link. You can also become certified. In addition to attaining a license, we recommend becoming a certified home inspector. We can talk about that as well. But just because you're licensed doesn't mean you're going to be successful. And so we'll speak about that in a little bit. Once you become a licensed home inspector in Florida, I'm a Florida licensed home inspector. My number is 1416. So I'm a Florida licensed home inspector, and every year I go to InterNACHI and I take free online CE approved by the state to renew my Florida license. See, everything with InterNACHI is free and online. So don't pay for anything, right? Hands-on training, it's fantastic experience. We got the House of Horrors. It's a house filled with 1,000 defects built under our warehouse, the ProLab warehouse. And you'll never come across these many defects and these many systems and components like you can in one house like this. So it would take you years to experience what you can experience at the House of Horrors. It's a really good training experience. We also have free live webinars for Florida home inspectors like this one. And if you wanted to network with home inspectors, certified and licensed home inspectors, we have a link there as well. So you click that link, and this takes you to 18 pages. There are a lot of home inspectors down in Florida. So if you wanted to find inspectors in your area, you just search under your address or zip code, and you search for inspectors. Join a local chapter. This is one of the benefits of being an InterNACHI member and also an individual of a large organization, right? We have local chapters. So find a local chapter. I think there are a few in Florida. You can check those out. You can also find a mentor. Juan Garcia is a mentor, and there are many other mentors down in Florida, but you can have a mentor outside of the state, someone to give you advice or guidance or answer some questions, or you can send pictures to. These are master inspectors who have agreed to volunteer their time to help other inspectors. That's a really great resource. We also have legal documents that are in alignment with the Florida DPPR regulations and statutes. It's kind of like a legal Zoom for home inspectors. If you wanted to get into mold, you have to be licensed in mold. But you can also identify indications of moisture intrusion and problems that may produce mold if you're a home inspector, but it has to be less than 10 square feet. But if you wanted to get into the business, being an assessor, we have those resources for you as well. We have resources for being a wind mitigation inspector and a 4-point inspector, WDO inspector, commercial property inspections. That's a great resource. CCPIA. If you wanted to make, instead of hundreds of dollars as a home inspector, but thousands of dollars as a commercial property inspector, and have this ancillary additional revenue stream, and diversify your services by becoming a commercial property inspector, this is a great organization, the Certified Commercial Property Inspectors Association. And we have all kinds of other resources like the Florida Home Maintenance Book. So it's specific to Florida. In this home maintenance book, you won't find any boilers or basements. And we also have a Spanish home maintenance book as well. And this book you give out to your clients at the end of the inspection so that they have information to maintain their home, right? That's essentially what we do as home inspectors. That's our incredible value that we bring to our clients. We teach them how the home works. We show them what needs fixing, and we educate them about how to maintain the home so it can stay in good shape for years to come. If you wanted to network with real estate agents, do CE presentations, or just to give them some kind of resource to start the conversation, we have these real estate cards, and they're free to InterNACHI members. We are a provider of education for real estate agents. So just like home inspectors need to take CE, agents need to take CE, and they can take it through InterNACHI, but you invite them. This card gives you an easy way to start a conversation with every real estate agent that you meet. Just hand it right over to them. Make sure you put your ID number in there, because when the agent logs in, they're going to be asked for the home inspector ID, and then you get emailed every time an agent logs in to one of your courses. And that way you can track whether that works or not. So you do a presentation, you pass out all of these real estate cards and see how that works as a marketing strategy. We also have a message board, an online message board just for Florida. So there's a couple folks here. They're talking about the advanced roof inspection, older pole home bonding and GFCI protection, and all kinds of things here. Is step flashing required in Florida? There's a couple of people looking for home inspectors to hire. So that's a great resource for new inspectors. And all kinds of other things. We can just go through this whole page. It just goes on and on. It's a ton of resources for you. If you're a new inspector in Florida, just go to Get Started, click Licensing and Certification, and then click your state, Florida, and you get to this state page. That's just state-specific information that anybody can access. Now, let me show you things that you should be accessing through your own dashboard, okay? So let me bring up my account, Big Ben Inspections account. This is like a fake InterNACHI inspector member right here. So top right corner of any NACHI.org page, you click My Dashboard, and you scroll down to licensing. And we already went over the benefits of choosing InterNACHI as a license provider. You know, we have all these things to get licensed, including the exam and the insurance. But once you become a Florida licensed home inspector, go into this dashboard and enter your Florida license number, because that's my Florida license number there. When I do that, every course that I take through InterNACHI School, which is an accredited college, it's automatically uploaded to the state. I don't have to think about it. So I get CE automatically uploaded into my account, right? So we can help you with your license if you enter your license number. So as soon as you get your license number, go back into your dashboard and enter it, okay? Now that's licensing. Now certification is the next item on the left-hand side. There's licensing and there's certification. So we recommend you get certified because in addition, because holding a license shouldn't be something that you can rely on for success, right? Just because you hold a license doesn't mean you're going to be successful in business. So what a license is something that shows the state that you are equally qualified with all other licensees. So if you're a home inspector right now, like I'm a home inspector and licensed home inspector in Florida, I have a license. Anybody can attain that same license, right? Let's say I'm a licensed home inspector in Florida, and I've been doing home inspections in Florida in my service area for 10 years, and I've dominated the market. And I've worked really hard to have this position. I've been competing with other inspectors, and I get this market area, and I've got my real estate agents, and I'm doing my business in this area, and I've been a licensed home inspector for 10 years. And then someone new comes, takes the InterNACHI's pre-licensing course, takes the exam, gets the insurance, and holds the same license. Now, to the state, you're equally qualified. But that's not the problem. The problem is the consumer sees you as equally qualified as well because you're holding the same license. And it doesn't mean you're actually even qualified to do great inspections or to provide really good inspection services. It just means that you've met the absolute legal minimum to perform a home inspection. Like the license here, the license standard really is the absolute minimum the state has set. If someone doesn't meet that absolute minimum requirement and they perform a home inspection without meeting that minimum, it's like a criminal. It's like being a criminal. So here's holding a license and here's criminal. License, criminal, right? You're just one step above being a criminal when you hold a Florida home inspector license. It is the lowest bar. It is the lowest standard legally. You're supposed to hold yourself up to a high standard, right? You're supposed to distinguish yourself from all the rest. But no, this license assures that the consumer is hiring someone who is one step above being a criminal, who has met only the lowest standard and is the same as every other 5,000 other licensees in the state. So it's when you get a home inspector license, man, you're just starting off, actually. Now it's a race in marketing to distinguish yourself from all the rest. Because holding a license is the lowest standard one can hold themselves to. It's like a worthless piece of paper. It's something that you put on the floor and you stand upon it. And then it's from there you build a home inspection business. So I want to make sure that you understand getting a license is really important, but you just met the absolute legal minimum that's above being a criminal. How do you distinguish yourself from all the other 5,000 home inspector license holders in the state? How do you start showing that you are more qualified than the other home inspectors? How do you answer the question, why should I hire you instead of anybody else who holds the same license? The answer to that question, we have resources for you through InterNACHI. You want to leverage InterNACHI resources in order to run that race away from being lined up just like everybody else on the starting line, holding the same license, being qualified as the same. In the eyes of the consumer, everyone is the same. When when the consumer can't tell the difference between one service provider and another service provider, when the consumer can't tell one product from another, that they're interchangeable, basically the same price, same service, doesn't matter, there's no difference, that's called a commodity. And you don't want to be in that world of a commodity. A commodity is something that's interchangeable, indistinguishable from all the rest. You can choose one or the other, it doesn't matter. And then according to the consumer, well, look, the state says you're equally qualified. Yeah. We hold the same license. Yeah. We follow the same standards of practice. Yep. We all hold carry insurance. Yep. That inspector uses insurance. So do I. Yep. That inspector takes pictures. So do I. Yep. It's the same thing. And when everything else is the same, what makes you different from all the rest? What is the distinguishing characteristic? When everything else is the same, how is a consumer choosing who to hire? When everything's the same, then price wins. And the lowest price is chosen. And that's no good for everybody. That's no good, right? When everything else is the same, then it's the price that is used to distinguish between one from the other. And in Florida, there is this tendency to compete on price, where the lowest price wins. And that's just terrible. That's disastrous for your industry. You can't compete on price. You have to compete on value. And the only way to compete on value is forget about your license, attain it. It's just a stepping stone. It's the minimum lowest standard bar. It's like toilet paper. Toilet paper is a commodity. It does the same thing, right? A watch is a commodity. Oil, barrel of oil does the same thing. Can't distinguish one thing from the rest. So you want to throw that away and start thinking about what makes you different from all the rest. And don't compete on price. It's got to be something else, because you'll be doing a home inspection for $120. Can't make any money. Can't make a living on that. It's got to be something else. Compete on value. And in business, the general rule of thumb in business is if the perceived value, if the value that the customer, your client, sees, oh, that's really valuable. If that perceived value is much greater than the cost, then it's a good decision. So you want to compete on value. You want to overwhelm your clients with value so that you can demand higher prices. How do you do that? Through InterNACHI. How do you compete on value? How do you provide overwhelming value? By leveraging InterNACHI resources, you become certified in addition to a license, because a license is just like that piece of toilet paper. It's about that. It's about as valuable as toilet paper. And you know what we do with toilet paper. So you have to distinguish yourself somehow from all the rest. Get certified as a certified home inspector. When you graduate from the home inspector certificate program, that's a college program. It's an accredited college program. You get a certificate, your name is on it, your license is on it. That's something to distinguish you from all the rest. You download logos that you have qualified to use, and you put it in your marketing. We have over 60 additional certifications provided by InterNACHI. They're all accredited programs with logos that you can use to distinguish yourself from all the rest. Here's the CPI. That's just one of 60. Let's say you wanted to do healthy homes. Become a healthy homes inspector. Do you know how many sick people there are in the world? How many sick people there are in Florida? Science is showing that we spend so much time in our homes and in our workplace buildings that if our homes or buildings are sick, we're sick. So if you're not feeling well, if your neighbor isn't feeling well, if the person that you're trying to sell something to, they're not feeling well, could be the shelter that they're in, the home that they're in, the building that they're working. Become a healthy homes inspector. Start to distinguish yourself. And you actually don't oh, I do a home inspection for $129. I do a 4-point, I do 10 of them a day, $40 a day. I'm making a little bit. No, do something incredibly valuable and then like make a ton of cash. That's your goal, right? Become a mold inspector. Where's the other ones? Oh, infrared inspector. You know, in relation to value, the incredible value. I was a home inspector for a dozen years, multi-inspector group in Pennsylvania. All of our inspectors carried infrared cameras. Why? Because of the value that we were overwhelming our clients with. Like you're in a room right now, right? It's 14 of you. You're all going to get a flashlight and do home inspections with a flashlight. Now, how are you going to compete with other people who are seeing the same thing as you with flashlights? Well, think about infrared. Infrared is just like a flashlight, but it allows you to see things that other inspectors can't. Why would somebody hire an inspector who can't see anything more than I can? Right? So all of our inspectors had infrared cameras so that we could see things that other inspectors, that no one else can see. And then we put it on our marketing. Like if you go to my Big Ben Inspections website, right? Under services, I got infrared. I use infrared on every home inspection. Can you see what I see? No, you can't see what I see, right? I see a leaking sink before anybody sees it, right? I see things that other inspectors can't see. And I prove it by becoming certified. Holding a license, holding a home inspector license, big deal. Anybody can do that. Become certified in something that adds incredible value to your client that other inspectors can't do. Now you have a reason. Now you're starting to build the answer to the question, why should I hire you again? Why is it $350? What's it? What? Use InterNACHI, get trained and certified, and start to distinguish yourself from all the rest. Okay? Log into your dashboard, top right corner. Go to your dashboard, log into your dashboard. We did licensing, right? Clicked over here, licensing. Now, certification, did certification, right? You can download your CPI certificate. You can add things to your website. You get a QR code. I'd put this QR code on my vehicle so that people can scan it and see that I'm a certified home inspector. Licensed home inspector, everybody, who cares about being a licensed home inspector? Get certified, right? Go up here to business development. You want to think of yourself as a person who's knowledgeable in the home inspection business. If you want to work for someone else, fantastic. If you want to ride along or help somebody for a year or something and then break off on your own, great. When was the last business and marketing course that you took? So your boss, your supervisor, your mentor can talk to you about value, pricing, operations, processes, profit, marketing, service. I mean, don't get just technically good at doing home inspections. The House of Horrors is a great experience to become a trained home inspector, but don't get intoxicated with doing home inspections and forget about the goal is to make a living doing this. And to make a living doing this, you can be the best home inspector in the world and be really proud of your license. But that doesn't mean you're going to be successful. And it doesn't mean you're going to be actually valuable to anybody who wants to hire a home inspector. So instead of being all excited about the technical aspects of doing the work of a home inspector in a business, you want to start thinking about running a business that does home inspection work. You want to start changing your mindset. You got to renew your mind to what? To the idea that You're a business owner. You own and operate a business that just so happens to do home inspections. It could be, you could sell burgers. You sell pizza. You could be an electrician, whatever you want. That's not the point. The home inspection part isn't really the point. What's really important is understanding business and marketing. And we have, InterNACHI has those resources to leverage you up. Leverage means like you put in a certain effort into something, but you are using the mechanics, taking advantage of something else that multiplies your force in order to get more out of your own effort. Your own individual effort is multiplied. So that's why you're a member of InterNACHI, in order to get these resources and multiply your individual effort more than you could ever do on your own. And a lot of it is knowledge base. You got to be knowledgeable. You got to know how to do a home inspection. Got it. But you also have to know how to run a business and choose effective marketing strategies that work and discard ones that don't. BizVelop is a free online business development tool. I don't care if you're a veteran home inspector or brand new, use this tool. It asks you a series of questions and it adjusts as you answer those questions and provides you recommendations of what to do next. It's a great tool. Here's a really good tool, the Home Inspection Business and Marketing course. So again, log into your dashboard, go to Business Development, click the Home Inspection Business and Marketing course. It's a green button. There it is now. Let me show you what it includes. It has business, marketing, training, software, tools, mentoring. Let's clear this guy. Mentoring, website, and legal. Let's log in. I'm going to show you my favorite section of this course. Oh, this is the video where I describe the 9 ways. There are only 9 ways to make more money as a home inspector. There's not 8, there's not 10, there's 9. And then we go over each one. So in chapter 11, there's this story about Picasso. Pablo Picasso, the very famous abstract painter. And he was in a cafe in New York with his friends, drinking coffee. And a woman comes up to Pablo Picasso and asks him to sketch her on a napkin, like a little drawing, right up to Picasso, and asked him to, and he goes, okay, I'll do it. He grabs a pen from his friend and a napkin, and he sketches something like this, and it takes 30 seconds, like this abstract drawing here, and shows the woman on the table, this napkin. And as she's reaching for it, Pablo says, that'll be $10,000, madam. And she goes, $10,000? What? Like, it only took you 30 seconds to draw that thing. And he goes, no, madam. It took me 30 years to draw that. It took him 30 years to draw that. So whenever you're thinking about pricing your services, don't ever think about how long it took you. Oh, it only took me 15 minutes. So, I did a wind mitt in 20 minutes. So that's like $20. No, it's all about the value of the information that you just provided to your client. It doesn't matter how long it took. Let's say a home inspection down in Florida takes 2 hours, 3 hours. Let's make it simple. 3-hour inspection. You get $300 divided by 3 hours. That's $100 an hour, right? Pretty good, right? But a lot of inspectors aren't even charging that, charging almost half of that, because they're thinking not in competing in value, but competing in price. What you want to do is think of the value that you are providing, like a 30-second sketch from Pablo Picasso of you is worth $10,000, right? And the incredible service that you provide to your clients at this critical moment of their lives. If you're doing a home inspection for a buyer or an investor, they're making a critical decision. For most people, it's going to be a financial decision that will have an impact on their lives for the next 30 years. And what you need to do is provide them the information they need at that moment in time so that they can make a smart decision. What an incredible value you bring to people. You got to charge on that. Teach people how their home works, how to maintain it, and what needs fixing. And never let them go. As soon as you get a client, you keep them in your network and you never let them go. You always are providing valuable information to them. So that's a little story about calculating profitable fees. And there's really two inspectors in here. There's Inspector John and Inspector Mary, and they're trying to figure out what to charge according to the amount of time. No. What other inspectors are doing? No, they're just licensed. What? It's math. So figure out what you need to do. If you don't calculate what is a profitable inspection fee for you, you won't be here next year. You'll just work yourself to death trying to make a lot of money, and you'll never be successful if you don't do the math. And where is this available? It's in the Home Inspection Business and Marketing course. Just follow Inspector John and Mary. Let them help you figure out. Here's a cool thing. Like if you wanted to start a business, right? You have to think about why you're different from all the rest. Or if you wanted to join another group, maybe become part of a franchise or get hired by another company looking for inspectors, you have to think about what value you bring and why are you different from all the rest. So for example, in this course, we ask you to think about these things. List, and this is fun mental exercise, and this will help you market yourself as well, and will help you with your conversation with other people. Whenever people are talking about their businesses or something, maybe you're doing a presentation, you know what to say. List the 3 areas in which your company is the best and why. Well, for me, it was slam dunk. I was a home builder before I was a home inspector. So whenever I'm doing a home inspection and I'm looking at a wall, I know how that wall is built. I know what's inside that wall. I know what studs look like. I know what fasteners. I've built walls. I've built hundreds of walls, right? I know how they fail, how they're built. I know the load-bearing components, non-load-bearing components. I know the wiring inside. I know the plumbing inside. I know the code. Other inspectors may not have that. So we're the best. All of our inspectors were tradesmen, and they knew how to inspect the things because they built those things. Like list 3 things, everyone should know about your company, right? List the top 5 benefits of hiring you. Or this one, ask 5 real estate agents what they think are the most important aspects of working with a home inspector. And they are going to tell you the few things that are really great about their inspector. And then you shift your marketing strategy to meet the needs of that client. So one day I asked a real estate agent this question. Now, why do you like that inspector so much? Like I would really want to know why can't I get into your office? What is it about that home inspection company that you really like? And she said, well, actually, it's become a problem. I was like, oh, like what's the problem? Well, they keep showing up late. They keep showing up late to the inspections. Yeah. And it just looks bad on me. And I'm kind of done with it. And I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity. This is an office that I didn't think I could get my foot in. And I asked them, not like, I didn't say, hey, will you please, take my card and, please call me next month or something like that. I'm a good inspector. I'm a licensed inspector, right? No, it was like, what are the most important things of working with a great home inspection company? And she said, well, actually, my home inspection company isn't doing all that. They keep showing up late. So I said, right off the, without thinking about it, I said, well, if I ever show up late, I will do the inspection for free. That story. And I was like, oops, I bit my tongue. I told my partner, I'm like, this is what I said. But it was really good marketing. That story spread like wildfire through her office. Every real estate agent knew it. And then it went to other offices. I never did that. I never showed up late. I was always early, actually. We never showed up late. Where I come from, if you show up on time, you're late. So we always are early. But you never know what is that distinguishing characteristic that meets the needs of your clients or their agents. So you have to ask. That's part of your marketing strategy, communicating. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard and show some other resources. So we did licensing, right? Certification, get certified on top of getting licensed. We did business development. Let's take a look at other resources in the business development tool. If you're thinking about creating a business and you're wondering which type of business entity I should incorporate, right? Don't run a business as an individual. It's too much liability. You want to do at least an LLC, limited liability company, and you want to get a business attorney to help you out with this, okay? So a local CPA, a business attorney, someone to help you out with incorporating. Or maybe you want to go from an LLC to an S Corp. This tool can help you make that decision, okay? And it's free. A couple clicks and you'll get your answer. So that's business development. There's a few other things in there. Let's go to marketing. So it's not all about business. It's all about business and marketing. You have to be technically good, remember, technically good, but not just that. Can't be the greatest home inspector in the world and assume you're going to be successful. Can't just hold a license and assume success. You have to get technically good, meet that minimum standard, at least take InterNACHI courses to become certified, overly qualified now, and different certifications, maybe different revenue streams, ancillary services, diversify your services for the ups and downs of the economy, and then learn about business and then marketing. 3 things. Under marketing, we have all kinds of really good stuff. Download some certification logos. Click the button and you can download logos and give them to your marketing designer, your marketing team, your website designer. Tell them use this, right? If you're using Vistaprint or something and you're making your own business cards and flyers, I wouldn't recommend that. Here, remember leverage? Remember leveraging your individual effort is multiplied when you leverage and take advantage of the mechanical things and processes and operations and resources of InterNACHI. InterNACHI has a marketing team. I'll just go there. Let's see, what can we go? Yeah, click this button. I'll show you the marketing team. So there are 8 individuals on the marketing team, and they all work for you. They don't do any marketing for InterNACHI. InterNACHI is doing good. We don't do any of that. These 8 people, they're highly qualified, highly creative, professional illustrators, designers, consultants, and we have an editor-in-chief so that everything in your business card, brochure, flyer, apparel, vehicle wrap, billboard, everything is going to be spelled right, right? If there's an error, we'll eat it and do it over again. You won't have to pay. You want to leverage this marketing team to design all of your marketing. And I mean all of it. Marketing is anything you design, print or electronic, that you use in your communication to send out the message of why you're in business, who you are, and why you should be hired. You have it would be impossible for you to hire 8 people to work on your marketing 24/7. But with InterNACHI, you get to leverage that resource. And your individual effort of being a member is multiplied. simply by taking advantage of certain things that work for your business. So you can hire a cousin to design a logo if you want to, because he got a degree in design. You have 8 people on a team who do this 24/7 for other InterNACHI members. And you can take a look at their stuff. I mean, you can take a look at their, like, if you wanted to look at something to get a new logo inspired to design a new logo, or maybe you have a logo and you want to redesign it, right? Because a lot of inspectors out there have logos. When you shrink them, you can't read them. You don't know what it is. It just looks like a blob. And when you expand it, it gets blurry. That's poor design. When you hire InterNACHI's marketing team, you get great design. It shrinks and it looks good, and it expands as big as the globe, and it won't ever lose resolution. And look through the logos that they've already designed, tens of thousands of logos they've designed, and get inspired by it. Oh, yeah, I like the blue kind of shield there, or maybe I do want a black bear in Florida, because that'd be odd. How many black bears are there in Florida? So you want to think about branding and customizing and leveraging InterNACHI's marketing team so that you're not on your own. Your individual effort is multiplied by taking advantage of all the resources that InterNACHI provides. Home maintenance books, I talked about that. I love when a home inspector customizes the cover of a home maintenance book with their own logo and then provides it as a custom full color 100-page book about maintaining their home. In fact, I think you should tell your clients, if anything goes wrong with your home, call me. Now, you're protected by your agreement, protected by a standards of practice. You're not responsible for future events. They're going to call you anyways if the roof leaks 6 months from your home inspection anyways, right? So you might as well get on top of it and use it as a marketing strategy and tell every client, hey, look, basically, we're in the same neighborhood. If you ever have any problems, call me. Like if your toilet starts to leak around the base of it, don't call a plumber. Call me. Let me look at it and tell you what's up. If your roof is leaking, dripping on the ceiling or something, don't call a roofer, because you're going to get a new roof. If you call a plumber, you're going to get a new toilet, and you're going to pull all the toilets, right? You're going to replace all the pipes. When some contractor that you just called pulls up in your driveway, take a look at what's in the back of the truck or in the van. They got stuff to sell you. I'm not beating up contractors. They're in the business of selling you things, right? And you don't know your clients, they're not knowledgeable about what to do and how to fix stuff, right? That's where you come in. You come in before they hire the contractor, before they call the contractor. If there's anything wrong, they call you and they hire you to come in and give them your opinion as to what is actually going on, what actually needs fixed, so that your client, so that the homeowner, can challenge any unnecessary recommendations for repairs made by their contractor, right? You don't want your clients to be taken advantage of by contractors who make recommendations for unnecessary repairs. They can save hundreds to thousands of dollars if they just hire you as a home inspector or consultant. You're right down the street. If anything goes wrong, you call me. Okay. I mentioned that because now that seems like you're providing incredible value, right? You want to overwhelm your clients with value and distinguish yourself from all the rest. That's what you want to compete on. Value, not price. So we're in the marketing. And if you want to post on social media, fantastic. We can talk about that strategy. It's really about getting your face out there, your company name out there. It really doesn't convert. We have years of data that shows that a post on social media doesn't actually make you money. And I can show you that in other webinars, and we'll be having other videos about that. But if you wanted to post on social media, we have social media graphics. Don't make them yourself. Like, we have barbecue safety guidelines. You screenshot these things, you post them on social media, put it on your Instagram or your Facebook, and you say something nice, right? And people will click it and go, oh, Big Ben Inspections. Oh, Juan Garcia just gave us some tips on how to save money and energy in our home. Isn't that nice? Thanks, Juan. Right? Or if you want to give tips to real estate agents, here's how to prepare for a home inspection. For listing agents, here's what you do to prepare for one of my home inspections before I come in and tear it apart. Make it easy for everybody. Here's how you prepare. So you can send this out by social media. You can share it with other real estate agents. Hey, or you can put it on your blog. I have a blog on my website here, and I've got articles. And here's what's the safety hazard here. So there, the code, the 2024 IRC. I know Florida has their own state adopted code. It's slowly behind, what's leading. So the leading code, the leading edge of the code, the 2024 IRC and the 2023 NEC, National Electric Code, has made kitchen island receptacles optional. Receptacles on a kitchen island below the countertop are not required, because there are thousands of little kids getting burned and injured because the crock pot or the something hot thing is plugged into the cord, plugged into the receptacle that's below the countertop on the kitchen island. So code is always on the leading forefront of trying to protect homeowners, regardless of how they use things or what kind of abilities, physical abilities they have, or what they may think is safe or not. They're trying to protect people, mostly firefighters. Code changes when a firefighter gets hurt. And when homeowners get hurt, code changes. So you can incorporate this kind of information into your services. So I have a blog about that. Also, have other blogs here. And this website was designed by InterNACHI's official vendor for website designs. They design websites for InterNACHI members. And I like this. I like this website a lot. I like my homepage a lot. So don't ever put a fancy house on your homepage right here. I critique a lot of inspector websites, and they always have a fancy looking house, something that, is like $1 million or $2 million house. And that's the wrong message you want to send to a potential client. People visiting your website should see the thing that they are trying to hire. They should see that which is going to be hired. And what is that? It's not a fancy house that nobody can afford. It's you. Give them what they are searching, and you'll have about 3 seconds to give that information to them. You have to tell them that you're a certified professional inspector and you're the best. So I made this fancy website here for you. Put your face right on the homepage. That's what they want to see. And that's an easy way to distinguish yourself from all the rest. Be right out in front and tell them what they're looking for. You found the best inspector in Raleigh. Well, tell them why. Show them the qualifications. So show them your logos. Do some videos. This is a playlist on YouTube. YouTube, you can create a playlist of videos. Don't just put individual videos on your Instagram and Facebook and then it goes away. Relate them all into a playlist, like a Spotify song playlist, right? Well, YouTube has a playlist. Figure it out and make videos from your company. You can even brand the color, and then they're all grouped. And then your videos, man, people watch one video after another. And if you are an inspector who's providing valuable information for free, and you show them what you do, because they would like to see what was this person do during the home inspection? Do a little clip, 30-second clip, and put it online, YouTube, and see how it performs. So back to the dashboard. We're in marketing, but man, there are so many other things that you could do in your dashboard. And we can go over all of them, but I don't want to take up all of your time. So we've been together for about an hour. Does anybody have any burning question that they have for me? Anything I can answer? Anything you need? Is there something you have a question about?
Right. We got about two, three questions. Yes, sir. You first. Say that again. CPI. What is a CPI?
CPI is the logo right here. To become a CPI means that you are certified and you're a professional and you're an inspector. That's the CPI, certified professional inspector. And it's a nationally registered certification mark. It's a credential that any InterNACHI member can attain. And it's our main home inspector certification and a logo.
Did you mention that the InterNACHI is a accredited school?
Yeah. So any course that you take through InterNACHI, our online courses, they're all provided by an accredited college. It's at internachi.edu. If you go, and don't go to any unaccredited school. Now, I've got 3 daughters. I didn't send them to an unaccredited college, right? I sent them to a college that has the .edu. There are many instructors out there, many training partners that we partnered up with, but there's only one home inspector college, and that's InterNACHI. InterNACHI School is a home inspector college recognized by the National Accrediting Agency of the U.S. Department of Education. We're also a member college in Canada. So go there to get all of your training.
So, yes, sir. In the back, I'll come back to you guys. Yes, sir. Is it 60 additional courses, certifications might be overwhelming? Will you have like a list, maybe let's say the top 5 that you recommend? Is that?
Yep. So if you go to your dashboard, you go to certification, there's a link there to all of those additional certifications, and there's a ton. There's over 60 of them. So I would recommend the certified professional inspector certification, right? Because people are looking for an inspector who's professional and certified, in addition to your license. And then you have to figure out what works in your area. Maybe it's 4-point, right? So we have a 4-point training program. Maybe it's mold, so we can help you with mold. Maybe it's post-hurricane building safety inspector, right? We have that kind of training. Maybe it's WDO. I don't know. I don't know was it wind mitigation? Maybe it's wind mitigation, or maybe you're just going to focus on roofs. So it's roofs here. So I would scroll down slowly. All of these training certification programs are free and online. There's no cost to getting trained and certified through InterNACHI. I like this one. There's a lot of people that rent, right? And man, would it be great to break into the rental inspection business, right? So that you can help empower renters with information that they can send to their landlord in order to get things fixed. Because those landlords, they'll drag their feet. They won't fix anything coming from a complaining renter. But if you get a third-party neutral certified professional inspector with a report about conditions of the home in the first month that that renter moves in, now we're trying to help people, even renters, live in safe and healthy homes that work, and it's very difficult. I was renter, renting an apartment. Yeah, you got no voice, you got no power, right? So you need somebody maybe. So maybe you want to break into that. I don't know what you need, and the InterNACHI doesn't know, but we make all this available to you, kind of overwhelm you, remember, with value. But you have to figure out what you need and pick those things that work.
Where are you located? Where are you located? For you, my advice, right, being in the Florida market, wind mitigation,
Yep.
drone, mold. Those are first three that you gotta go to after this course. Besides CPI. Sir, you had a question back there? No. You good? Yes, sir.
So on the training piece, if it's on the InterNACHI site and they recommend them as a partner education school,
Yep.
it's considered credential.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We have partner schools, and those partner schools have signed an agreement and a code of ethics. One of them is they won't sell your information to a third-party service provider and other things. So we kind of filter those training partners. So I would recommend, if you can't get what you need from InterNACHI directly, go to one of our training partners.
So when they get that certificate out of that school, is it towards the CPI certification? Do they meet the CPI certification? What do they come out of the school with?
If it's a third-party partner, they don't issue the CPI. You can only get CPI and certification logos like this from InterNACHI, and we make it all online and free. Usually when you go to another training school, they're offering things that we don't do, like a lot of live hands-on things where they ask you to sit in a classroom or go on a ride or an on-site inspection or something like that, and you have to pay that human being. And whenever you do a live class, you got to pay that human being their time because it's worth that, right? But if you do something online through InterNACHI, we try to make it as free as possible.
So none of their training is going to count towards the certificate. So they're doing exterior inspection training, and they're completing a course as an affiliate course for InterNACHI. They're gonna have to still go back and take the full online suite to be certified with InterNACHI. I'm looking at Michigan, right? When you look at Michigan, it lists, school partners, and one of the school partners is Home Inspection Training Institute, and they're in Ohio, and so they say that they can accept some of the Michigan funding for like veteran funding and Michigan Works Program funding state to come out as an inspector. They take a test. They offer access to radon measurement, radon mitigation goal. But if I'm wanting to hire somebody, I send to school and then get them kind of hands-on and then do some right seat ride with me and then say, okay, you're ready to be an inspector. They still have to go do a full suite of training all over again with InterNACHI to get their certificate.
If two things, I want to send you to an you're talking about the states and state regulations, and you have an education team that can answer any state specific question that you have. And they're on the contact page. Okay. So here's the education team. All these people work for you, and they'll figure out what you specifically need in relation to the state requirements. Second thing is, if it's a college accredited program, it doesn't matter what college it is, pick any college. If it's a college accredited program and there's a requirement to graduate from that program, you can't just do something and ask the college to accept it in lieu of the requirements. So if it's a nationally accredited certificate program like InterNACHI's, federally regulated, we can't say that you can become certified by us, and you can also take anything else also, and you can fulfill the certification requirements. So it's a good thing and bad thing. It's difficult to become an InterNACHI certified home inspector because you have to do the InterNACHI accredited program and nothing else. But we can help you with other things.
No,
About being
no.
a Michigan inspector and hiring other people in Michigan and fulfilling those requirements. We have resources to help you with that as well.
I guess to your point though, if you go to an accredited university
Correct. I'm sorry to interrupt you there because I gotta keep a little bit of control. But if you go to a university and you have a class by another university, it's one thing. But think about it. InterNACHI is the only accredited college for inspectors. So try to get somebody from outside. You don't have anybody else outside with that credit.
And you can just email me that question. You don't have to take up the class. You can just email me,
Yeah.
ben@internachi.org, and I'm going to get you your answer.
Yeah. Sorry that you didn't get the one that you were looking for.
Good?
Yes, sir.
All right, Juan.
Any
It's
other
good to see
questions,
you.
guys? No, I'll see you a week from now?
Yeah, everybody. Let me leave with this convention. So if you have time, you've got a couple extra bucks, and you want to spend time with about 1,000 other home inspectors getting education and having a lot of fun, come down to Orlando. It's in just a few days, a couple weeks, and we'll all be there, and I'll see you there too. All right, everybody.
Right.
Bye, y'all. See ya.